Hello everyone, this is part 17 of What If Naruto Failed and Chose a Different Path, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist. To see more, comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto, Hinata, and Haku were walking through Konoha looking for familiar and friendly faces that they could hang out with to help water manipulating girl meet new friends. As always with Naruto, he does not always get what he wants. If history was any indication for the young blonde, orange, and black-haired dynamo. Right now, this was the case as they were walking down an alley to get to another part of the village when they heard the sound of tiny footsteps and the scraping of cardboard behind them, meaning only one thing: a certain scarf-wearing, metal-domed hair-holding, tooth-missing preschooler was behind him. "I can see through the box you're hiding under, Konohamaru. You can come out now," said Naruto, gracefully turning around with arms crossed, waiting for the younger boy to come out of hiding. Within seconds, smoke exploded from the box and the sound of multiple coughs made known, making Naruto realize that Konohamaru was not the only one in the square box with eye holes in it. "I think we used too much gunpowder," said a voice from within the box that was not Konohamaru. This should be good, thought Naruto as he decided to see how this played out along with Hinata and Haku, who were both curious as to what was going on. Your skill of seeing through our disguise was perfect. That is why I respect you as my rival," said Konohamaru as he leaped from the box, introducing himself, a girl with orange hair named Mogi, and a kid with glasses and what appeared to be a stuffy-nosed kid named Udon as the Konohamaru core. "Hey Konohamaru, it's been some time since I saw you," said Naruto, smiling at the kids before him that he noticed were all wearing black face masks like when serious situations had arisen. "Yeah boss, it has. You promised you would play ninja with us when you had a chance, remember?" said Konohamaru, pointing to his friends and then Naruto. "What kind of ninja plays ninja?" said Haruno Sakura, who was less than impressed with the group before her as she made her presence known by them as he entered the alley. "First off, they're just kids. Second, since when do you care about others? 20 Ryo says Sasuke turned you down for a date," said Naruto, turning slightly to see her now angry face she had on go to a whole new level as fire came out of her eyes, promising all in the area a painful death. "You shut up, Naruto. It was your fault that Sasuke-kun's nose is now broken and in a cast," yelled Sakura, ignoring the fact that he was right and allowing all of Konoha to hear her words at the same time. "Your point," said Naruto, not impressed with her shouting before having his back face her, making the pink-haired girl even more angrier than before. "Hey boss, who is she? Is she your, said Konohamaru with his pinky out in his outstretched arm. By this point, Hinata and Haku released a small wave of anger and chakra off them along with Sakura at such a declaration from the small boy. Naruto, sensing this and wanting to keep the boy with his two friends in tow alive, decided to remove 2 out of 3 female hostiles in one shot. "Now where did you get an idea like that? You know pink-haired girls aren't my type," said Naruto in a calm and curious voice while sensing his words lowered the rage of 2 of the girls while the third now had an aura of fire surrounding her. "Yeah, you're right boss, she's so not your type. Pinky is too flat in the chest area anyway for you. You need someone like those 2 over there," said Konohamaru, pointing to Haku and Hinata, making the girls blush while the fire around Sakura reached its limit to that of an inferno. "I'm going to KO you," yelled Sakura as she started running at Naruto and the trio that was the Konohamaru core, ready to tear their arms off. "Konohamaru, not that I'm afraid or anything, but unlike me you can't heal very fast, and if you want to live I suggest you 3 start running like your life depended upon it," said Naruto as he moved around Sakura as she tried to maim him first while the Konohamaru, Mogi, and Udon were scared out of their mind. They took his words to heart as she redirected her anger from Naruto to the trio, seeing as she could not hit the multicolor-haired boy and went for easier prey. "Run!" yelled a panicky Konohamaru as Udon, and Mogi ran for their lives. If you could see this from a bird's eye view you might suspect this was a race had you not seen the whole situation unfold as it did. As it stood, the third's grandson had taken the lead, with Mogi second, and a nearly out-of-breath Udon coming up third. Konohamaru skidded slightly as he turned the corner and proceeded to bump into something soft yet gritty and was now slowly lifting him up into the air. Who are you? Said a dry-cut and serious voice of a shadowy figure that had no emotion whatsoever. Konohamaru opened his eyes to find he was consumed up to his chin in sand and being held strangely in the air several feet high. Put me down, said Konohamaru as he tried to struggle in order to get free from the sand while he was unable to see his attacker. Why should I wonder, if I kill you, will mother be happy or will she be displeased? I have never killed an infant as young as you before. Only one way to find out, said the voice as the person's body raised itself above his head as if signaling the strike. Wait Gaara, we can't. It could become an act of war from Konoha and even with you helping us we would eventually lose, said the boy behind Gaara with face paint on. Kankuro is right. We'll be killed before we can get to the outer walls of Konoha, said the blonde girl with a fan on her back hoping her little brother would listen to reason. You may be older than me Temari as a you Kankuro, but if you try in stopping me from making my mother happy, I will kill you, said Gaara as he gazed at them with his tired insomniac-like eyes that cried out for sleep that they had been denied for so long. So you like pushing people around smaller than you? Gaara was it. Well, why don't you try pushing someone taller like me around, said Naruto with his mask now on in a voice that indicated he was sly serious. Haku and Hinata were several feet away from him keeping careful vigilance should there be more than just these three. I wonder why they are here, thought Hinata and Haku at the same time before Sakura rounded the corner to find out what the problem was. Gaara looked at boy who had just spoken only to realize he was looking at the source of his mother's discomfort. Who are you? Said Gaara keeping his voice the same as before, but inside he felt the demon in him becoming restless, angry and fearful. Uzumaki Naruto. I suggest you remove the boy from your sand you have suspended in midair seeing as you are holding the grandson of the third Hokage. If you so much as hurt him in any way you will instigate a war between our two villages. While I would love to kill foreign ninjas from another village I won't do it at the cost of his young life, said Naruto pointing to Konohamaru while staring at Gaara with his blue eyes filled with an intensity that made Gaara sweat slightly down his forehead. Your headbands. They indicate you are from the Suna and the village hidden in the sand, correct? Said Sakura as she recognized the symbols on their ninja headbands from what Iruka taught them in the academy. Yeah, what's it to you? Said Temari ignoring Gaara's slightly stiffened appearance due to the other boy wearing all black with a right arm bandaged, head mostly covered along with a mask over his face, and a sword by his waist. Though she would not admit it aloud, she thought the masked boy was somewhat cute in a mysterious sort of way. It matters considering who your friend with red hair is at the moment holding in his sand. If he does not remove Konohamaru, I will see to it that your boss are buried in that sand when I stuff it and you into coffins. Then I will send those same coffins back to your home tied up in a nice red bow to give to your cage as a sign for him to prepare for war, said Naruto as he cracked his right bandaged hand and each digit as a sign that he meant business. Reluctantly, Gaara lowered the child with his sand before releasing the boy and having the sand retreat back into the gourd on his back with his cork closing it. I know there is something different about you Uzumaki Naruto as I sense you are like me. You have something inside of you that if I am correct you had no say in what happened. Tell me who is it that resides within you that is your demon, said Gaara looking at Naruto who never let his surprise of Gaara's words reach his face. Boss, what is he talking about? Said Konohamaru as he looked from between Naruto and Gaara, curiosity getting the better of him. Konohamaru, take Mogi and Udon out of here as this is something that is far beyond you that you are not ready to hear or see. Understand? Said Naruto looking from Gaara to the boy in a serious voice meaning this was not a game. Alright boss, said Konohamaru as he took his two friends away from the area while making a mental note to ask his grandfather about this later. When the three were out of sight or any other of his senses Naruto returned his attention back to Gaara as he now wondered how to approach this considering the red-haired boy was clearly unstable. Back to your question, you wanted to know who I am the vessel of. My answer is the nine-tailed demon lord known as Kyubi. Judging from your sand moving in an unnatural way I take it yours was the one-tailed demon lord of the sand known as Shukaku, said Naruto in a whisper so only Gaara and the two behind could hear. This news stunned even Gaara as well as the other two at this as they did not know what to suspect from this kid. He holds something superior to Shukaku. Someone like me is also here. Yet he does not look crazy at all. What is his secret? Thought Gaara as he tried to suppress the voice in his head calling for Gaara to let the beast out to escape and out of or everything in sight. Hokage Tower. In a room several times larger than his office, the third Hokage addressed all the Chunin and Junin in the room in regards to a certain event that was about to take place. As you know, the Chunin exams are taking place here in Konoha again after so many years of waiting. I would like each Junin instructor here who thinks their students should partake in these exams to take one step forward, said Sarutobi, not knowing what to expect when he noticed two things out of the ordinary on Kurenai. One was a rose and the other was a brown fox. Lord Hokage, can you please instruct Kurenai-san to remove that fur ball she has on her shoulder, said Kakashi in a lazy tone, but still noticeably irritable voice. Why should I? This was a gift from Slade-san. If I have to get rid of the fox, you have to get rid of your perverted book, for the rest of the day, said Kurenai, petting the fox as it wrapped its tail around her and rubbed its head with hers. My book has more value than that flea-infested fur that is on that little rodent you are currently petting, said a now more agitated Kakashi, as he did not like people insulting his book. Why don't you tell that to Slade-san? He would be happy to re-educate you on the worth of things and how you insult the gifts he gives on dates, said Kurenai, making everyone's eyes bulge out of the sockets at this news, though Kakashi faked his since he saw them on the date. You went out on a date with Slade, said Asuma, surprised as he was so shocked that he completely forgot about his cigarette that had now fallen out of his mouth. Yes, he is and was quite the gentleman on our date. You men could learn a thing or two from him about how to make a woman happy, said Kurenai as the fox on her shoulder gave a growl at the one-eyed Junin's direction as if to indicate that it was him the Junin mistress was referring to. As much as I would love to continue hearing more of this particular conversation, we have more important matters to discuss. Like the Chunin exams and who from our village will be participating, said the third Hokage, impatiently tapping his finger on the table waiting for their response. One by one, Kurenai, Kakashi, Asuma, and a very loud Maitogai each gave their own nominations for the Chunin exams. Much to the protest of one Yumino Iruka. Lord Hokage, I refuse to embrace the fact that you would allow my former students to be put into this exam. They are too young and their abilities all need developing before they can even try to reach the requirements of Chunin, said Iruka, as he had been in the exams before and he feared that such an exam they were taking was beyond even someone like Naruto's current abilities. I was a Chunin at half the age of Naruto if my memory serves me right, said Kakashi, trying to prove his point to the horizontally scarred across the nose Chunin before him. Naruto is nothing like you, yelled Iruka, though after he said it he was not sure if that was an insult or a compliment in the powerful Genin's favor. I think you misunderstand the concept I was going for, Iruka. It is not just Naruto that holds a lot of promise in the form of potential. Both Uchiha Sasuke and Haruno Sakura have the potential to be strong ninja. If you saw them on the bridge in Wave Country you would agree too, said Kakashi, as he knew that Sasuke had a lot of promise due to his eyes, and if Sakura put in more effort in her training, she would be a force to be reckoned with as well. I'm afraid Kakashi is right about this one, Iruka. You will find that each team is growing rapidly with each time they either train or go on missions, which I am sure you remember correctly are what shinobi do, said Sarutobi as he felt that he had to support Kakashi in his opinion of his Genin squad even though the Junin was prejudiced against one of its current members. At this Iruka could only sigh in defeat, knowing he could not win against both the Junin and the Hokage in this argument. Are there any other matters to discuss? Good. Here are the forms to give to your students tomorrow. Dismissed, said the Hokage as the Junin before him took the forms and left in a puff of smoke. Konoha back in the alley. How do you know about Shukaku that I hold inside of me? Whispered Gaara, as he, by this point, dared not speak louder, as he was quite disturbed, as were the other two behind him. They were the only people aside from their sensei who knew about the sand demon in this village, and they were told to keep it that way. Naruto just smiled at Gaara before walking up past him, but not before whispering in his ear. You and I are alike, Gaara. Meet me in the Hokage Tower tomorrow afternoon so we can talk to the old man about your seal. Then after she is properly sealed away, I will answer any questions you might want to ask me about afterwards. Bring these two with you, seeing as they are your teammates, and, sniff, your family too, as they will want to be there for what I have in mind, whispered Naruto before he beckoned the others to follow him, which they did immediately. Shukaku is a she, said Gaara in a whisper, but it was loud enough for his siblings to hear, making them even more frightened of the sand demon, as they knew the only thing scarier than a psychotic sand demon was a psychotic female sand demon. "Garar, are you going to consider his offer?" said Temari, hoping he would consider it, but at the same time did not want him to think it was insult from her to him. "I don't know, Temari. I will go to the Hokage Tower though and see this old man he was referring to about my seal. If I like what I am hearing, I will accept his offer and tell them about what we know in return. If I do not, then I guess the war with Konoha will start early, I suppose," said Garar as he felt his female demon getting slightly less crazy now that one Uzumaki Naruto was away. "With Naruto? What were you two talking about, Naruto? You suddenly whispered to him after he did to you. What did you say to him?" said Sakura, as she felt she had temporarily entered a world she had ever seen before. "It's not your concern, Sakura. Go bother Sasuke before that blonde-haired Ino girl finds out you are not around and goes after him," said Naruto, knowing if he put the two names, Sasuke and Ino, together in the same sentence it would provoke Sakura to find Sasuke to prevent the girl's rival from winning her crush's affection. As Naruto expected, she did just that as he sensed her inner Sakura, reminding her that a certain Ino pig had been spotted near where Sasuke had turned her down for a potential date. The result was Sakura being there one moment and then being gone in the next in a trail of dust, leaving Haku and Hinata with him. "You amen Naruto-kun, just what did why you say to Garar-san?" said Hinata, as she was curious like Sakura was, but decided to say it in a more polite yet shy way. "Garar is like me, Hinata. Only by the looks in his eyes, I would say he has not gotten any sleep due to his demon, meaning his seal is not strong enough to contain her," said Naruto, turning to face the two girls, seeing their shocked expressions. "You mean he has a demon lord inside of him?" said Haku, surprised that another demon vessel would be in Konoha. "Yes. However, unlike me, Garar is suffering from a psychotic female demon lord, who only wants to K. For some unknown reason it is not befitting her if what I sensed was correct from what was inside Garar. Despite the fact that she is the weakest of the 9 tails, she is quite dangerous and a force to be reckoned with when she goes into such a state," said Naruto, as Slade had taught him all about each of the 9-tailed demon lords and what they could do and elemental-like powers they possessed. "How do why you know that Shukaku is a Shien Naruto-kun?" said Hinata, as she never suspected that the demon lords could be female. "Because I told him through our mental link," said Slade, appearing from his Foxfire teleportation jutsu. "Hey Slade-sensei, I assume you know about the conversation I just had with Garar of the Sand," said Naruto, looking at the one-eyed figure before him. "Of course. I will tell the Hokage to set it all up tomorrow as planned. As for you three, go enjoy the rest of the day with your friends before it is all ruined. I think Shikamaru and Choji are hanging out watching the clouds on a hill not far from here. Why don't you go join them?" said Slade before disappearing in a burst of flame to the Hokage Tower. "Why not? It should help Haku meet some new people," said Naruto optimistically as he walked up to Hinata and Haku and took both their hands, causing both of them to blush. However, at the same time they glared at the other, sending invisible messages for the other to let go of Naruto's hand, which each noticeably declined. "Naruto is mine, not hers," Haku and Hinata thought as they redirected on getting Naruto's favor some way without the other around. Hokage Tower moments later. "You are sure about this?" said the third Hokage after hearing what Slade had to say about the matter in concerns to demon lords. "Without question. The poor boy is like Naruto, except he is being used to become a weapon. No doubt, this was done to counteract you in case you would use Naruto in such a way. Garar's seal was made to be incomplete, making him unable to sleep at night. Because of this, it has made him an insomniac psychopath, whose only way of sedating Shukaku in him is by killing people around him. Naruto has arranged a meeting with you tomorrow afternoon between Garar, his siblings, and himself. He needs you to strengthen the seal to allow the boy to sleep for once, literally in his life, said Slade with his arms crossed the entire time. While I'm not as advanced in seals as my student Jiraiya was, I'm sure I can strengthen a seal that was already in place. I can even use Naruto's seal to make the alterations needed to make it as strong as I need to, said Sarutobi as he took another intake of his pipe as he took out a scroll filled with different seals for imprisonment to look at what design that he should use on Garar's seal. Meanwhile, It was one of those rare days for Shikamaru that nothing bad or rather, troublesome, was happening to him. Asuma gave them the rest of the day off when a summoning bird flew over the group not long ago. Ino had run off to her family's flower shop saying things about impressing Sasuke with flowers or something along those troublesome lines. It was then that several shadows appeared behind him and Choji, making the lazy boy look up more at the direction of the source of his cloud-watching disruption. Naruto, said Shikamaru, surprised seeing as it was not Ino, Sakura, and any other fangirl of Sasuke's, but rather three unexpected guests with one he had never seen before in Konoha. Hey Shikamaru, mind if we join you? Said Naruto as he gestured to the two girls on either side of him. Shikamaru was never one to turn down another person's company, unless of course it was an annoying girl like his teammate Ino. She would berate him for not doing anything more than watching the clouds go by, nearly sucking all the life out it. Sure Naruto, as it would be too troublesome to say no, said Shikamaru as he looked over to Choji, who was more focused on eating his chips than cloud watching. By the way, this is Haku. She came here from Wave Country after our C-rank turned into an A-ranked one, said Naruto as he, Haku, and Hinata sat down on the grassy hill. An A-rank mission. Well Naruto, just when I thought you were too troublesome before I find out you are in a whole league of your own in that department, said Shikamaru as he laughed slightly, as did Naruto, seeing as he knew the lazy boy was laughing in a good way. So what happened while I was away? Anything exciting happen? Said Naruto curiously as he wanted to know of any new developments that may have occurred while he was away. Not really. Everything is still the same with the same old thing of having to do all those D-ranked mission, said Shikamaru as he sighed at how his eardrums nearly exploded from Ino yelling at Asuma for making them walk some pretty big dogs and ended up near a training ground meant for upper Chunin and low-level Junin. It was peaceful like that for a good 10 to 15 minutes until that is. Naruto, said a voice that suddenly yelled from behind the cloud-watching group that the lazy Shikamaru knew all too well as to whose voice it belonged to. Oh no, it's Ino. I do not know what you did to make her angry, Naruto, but from the way that she just yelled, she seems upset about something you did. You didn't pull a prank on the first day back, did you? Said Shikamaru as he already started to pale at the thought of Ino taking her anger from Naruto out on him and Choji. I wish. No, I think this is Sasuke related, said Naruto, standing up with Haku and Hinata, who were now slightly worried that Ino, as Sakura did, try to hurt the object of affection that was Naruto. Naruto, how dare you break Sasuke-kun's nose? Yelled Ino as she had originally heard it from Sakura's yell and then from Sakura herself when they ran into each other. He broke Sasuke's nose. When? Thought Shikamaru as he was peeking out from his hiding spot below the hill slope with Choji, as he had decided that this conversation was for once more important than eating his chips. Would you prefer that I had ked him? Because if you want, I am sure Hiashi would be more than happy to do that, said Naruto calmly as he looked at a now confused blonde-haired Ino who approximately 2 seconds ago had fire coming out of her eyes. Huh, what are you talking about? Said Ino, as she did not understand what the face and head covered boy in front of her. Let me explain this to you in terms you can understand. Ino growls, in a mission we had recently finished, Hinata was put in a death-like state where people around her had assumed she had SD. When this happened, your precious Sasuke-kun told me that Hinata was weak and that she was supposed to protect those that are stronger. It is for that reason, Ino-san, that I punched him in the face, thus resulting in the breaking of his nose. If I had not done that, Hiashi would have dealt with the Uchiha himself, and I doubt he would have been as merciful as I was when it came to the boy's punishment that was long overdue. So be happy with what you have. See you later, Shikamaru, said Naruto, seeing as the blonde-haired girl had wasted his time and enjoyment. Nice going, Ino. Like I always say, crazy blonde girls are troublesome, said Shikamaru, only to a big fist to the back of his head from a once confused to a now angry Yamanaka Ino. Konoha Hotel later that night. Are you sure you want to do this, Gara? It could be a trap, said a man with half of his face vertically covered by a cloth hiding any possible scars he may possess beyond it. I am sure Baki. Like me, this boy has a demon inside of him, yet at the same time, he is different and I owe him the benefit of the doubt. Besides, it would be nice to sleep and not worry about Shukaku awakening in the process. Don't you agree? Said Gara, eyeing his Junin instructor carefully to gauge his reaction and to decide whether to K him or not. Of course, Gaara, but what about your father, the Kazekage? Surely he will not approve of such a move considering the situation we have with sound, said Baki as he did not want to anger Gaara's father, who was extremely ruthless when it came to king others. My father is a fool. Never forget that, Baki, or I will kill you, said Gaara angrily as he did not want his father to be spoken near him unless it was necessary. I'm sorry, Gaara, it's just that you know what I am saying is the truth, said Baki, backing up to the wall as the sand in Gaara's gourd came out slowly before Gaara forced it back in. I know, and that is why, should what this Naruto character is saying is in fact the truth, I will not only tell him about the plan with sound, but I will defect from Suna to Konoha, said Gaara, shocking everyone in the room. Konoha outside the Hyuga compound at that moment. Naruto, Hinata, and Haku walked up near the gate of the Hyuga compound with the day now over, a new one awaiting them tomorrow. I guess this is where we must part ways, Hinata-chan. Still, it would be ungentlemanly if we did not walk you inside your own home, said Naruto, making Hinata blush as they all walked up to the gate only to be surrounded on all sides by several Hyuga branch members giving Naruto cold glares with the pale white eyes. Miss Hinata, you will come with us inside, please. Preferably away from him, said the leader of the group, slightly hoping the boy would do something that would give them a reason to retaliate. Hinata had taken many things in her life either from her father, her cousin Neji, and out of or from the clan elders. However, for the first time in her life, she could not and would not listen to people who were being rude. Not just in front of her, but also directly to the very person she cared for with all her heart. Instead, Hinata faced the leader of the group that was before them and scowled fiercely. That was indeed worthy of a Hyuga branch member. Genji, you would be wise to hold your tongue when you address Naruto-san and his guest Haku-san. If you do not, I will be forced to reprimand you to my father, who will punish you accordingly with the seal on your forehead, said Hinata as her scowl made her look like a combination of her father and her mother, giving her a very commanding look. Genji looked at Hinata as well as the other branch members in shock at the commanding tone the young heiress used on them. It was even more shocking for them that she used it to defend one Uzumaki Naruto, aka Demon Boy, and QB Brat. Of course, Miss Hinata, however, I am under orders to escort you inside as it is late and your father would most likely prefer you at home where it is safe, said Genji, looking at Naruto and then the girl next to him, that was Haku. I will then speak to my father then before I go to bed. Along the way, a discussion of sorts may happen in regards to your behavior in treating my friends with respect, said Hinata as she turned to both Naruto and Haku, who were more than impressed with the way she was handling herself. I'll see you sometime this week, Hinata-chan. Bye, said Naruto, giving her a wave with Haku before they turned around to head for their home not far from her. When Naruto and Haku were out of sight, Genji's shock soon left him and his thoughts of taking control of the situation took over once more. He was head guard for Hyuga clan of the branch house and he was going to use it to its fullest. Miss Hinata, I must insist that you do not speak to that thing again, as he will taint your ever pure soul. Due to a law that was passed, I am forbidden to speak to you of it, but please trust me when I say that boy is evil, said Genji as he felt it was his sworn duty to protect the Hyuga clan from the demon vessel. The only thing around here that I should not speak to is you, Genji-san. I am going to go speak to my father about your actions here tonight and suggest an appropriate punishment for you. Remember, my own mother cared for Naruto, and by insulting him, you insult my mother, and by insulting my mother, you insult my father. Remember that, said Hinata as she walked by the now pale man, as he had a feeling he was in for a rough day when he spoke to Hyuga Hiashi again. Kazama Estate 10 minutes later. Naruto and Haku entered the house feeling slightly depressed at what Genji was trying to do as they tried to be polite to Hinata. To Naruto it had brought up painful mind-scarring memories of his earlier years when the adults would chase him away from the doorstep. To Haku, it was a small, but further inside look at Naruto's life when he was younger, and at the same time, it showed her a possibility that could have happened had Zabuza not saved her from the freezing snow all those years ago. Naruto-kun, about what happened back at there, said Haku, but Naruto interrupted her with a small gesture of the hand. It's all right, Haku-chan, I've endured it for 11 years, I think I can endure a little longer, said Naruto, giving her small before they entered the kitchen to find Zabuza raiding the fridge for a late-night meal. What exactly have you endured these past 11 years? Said Zabuza as he pulled out some bread, cheese, and turkey to make a sandwich. Naruto told them what happened at the Hyuga compound with the branch family being disrespectful due to all-knowing yet unspeakable reasons. That law your third Hokage setup really hits you hard, doesn't it, Naruto? You don't have to worry about it so much as you have people like me and Haku to watch your back should things get dicey, said Zabuza as he sat down at the kitchen table closest to them, removed the bandages from his mouth, and started eating hungrily almost like a vicious animal. Thanks, Uncle Zabuza, said Naruto, making Zabuza nearly choked at those words, as he had never been called by that before. No problem, kid. Cough, just do me a favor and cough, don't call me that in public, as I still have to cough, keep my image up as a terrifying man. Oh, and Haku, tomorrow I want you look at some of the scrolls one picked out for you to train with, as you can't rely only on what I've given you. A true ninja learns various things to balance oneself out, and right now, you are dependent mostly on water jutsus. I am going to try to find a suitable taijutsu instructor for you to work with. That and have you practice working on several other types of elemental jutsu I saw that caught my interest, said Zabuza as he took a drink of orange juice, nearly forgetting how good it tasted the last time he had it, which if he was able to recall correctly was a little over half a decade ago. Good you are all here, said Slade, making his appearance from a shadow in the corner as if he was an extension of it. I was wondering when you would show up. Care for a late night snack? Said Zabuza, motioning to the ingredients he used to make his sandwich. Maybe later, but for right now we have important business to discuss, said Slade as he sat down on a stool next to the large kitchen table. About what, Slade-san? Said Haku, as she was curious as to why the demon lord was so serious all of a sudden. To put it bluntly, Haku-san, we have another demon vessel here in Kohono from another hidden village, said Slade, taking the knife Zabuza used to cut his turkey meat and now balanced it on his right index finger. What tailed demon is it that this kid has? Said Zabuza as he had heard about some of the 9-tailed demons, though he had never encountered them before with the exception of Slade. His name is Garar of the Sand from Suna and the village hidden in the sand. He holds the 1-tailed demon Lord Shukaku in him, but his seal is incomplete and is preventing him from fully controlling his demon, said Slade as he continued to play with the knife on his finger. I heard of that one. It is said that Shukaku is the craziest of them all, but I also heard some interesting rumors a few years back too. Apparently, the Kazekage had some mad priest or a number the ceiling of Shukaku. If that is the case, then this Garar kid is the man's own son, said Zabuza as he had heard of assassins being hired to take out some kid from Suna who could manipulate sand, but always ended up being Ked. It is more than just the priest, Zabuza. Shukaku cannot stand the sight of me in regards to certain circumstances of our past, said Slade, getting Zabuza's attention as well as the other two, as they were just as interested to the history between the two demon lords. So what is it that makes Shukaku hate you so much? You two get in a fight involving your tails and how you have more than he does. Said Zabuza, smiling and laughing slightly at his humor, only to have it silenced when Slade took the knife in his hands and slammed it onto the counter. This isn't a joke, Zabuza, as the history between us goes much deeper than before in this current day and age. And for the record, Shukaku is a she, not a he, despite what you would think, said Slade as he eyed the man, who was surprised by the man's actions towards the situation. She's from the time frame from before you were the 9-tailed demon fox, isn't she? Said Naruto as it made sense from the way Slade was describing the situation to him. Sighs, yes, she is, Naruto. You see, a long time ago, she was my second attempt at being my apprentice. The reason, she literally wielded the power of the earth itself beneath her feet. Not only that, but she was the one that originally ked me after she betrayed me and refused to follow my evil ways. While she is known as Shukaku here in this world, she went by another name in the one that I am most familiar with. Her real name is Terra. Terra, the Geomancer, said Slade, making everyone's eyes widen in shock at this news. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.